Manhart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, Monday Night Raw recap edition. I am your host, Kyle Tyson, joined by the returning Vicente Delgado. Vince, can we hear you today?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing
Yes.
1 2 3. Okay. Good morning, Kyle. How's it going, everyone?
Oh man, if you all don't get that joke, go back and watch the intro to SmackDown. I edited it out because all you can hear is me like heavy breathing on the microphone in the silence.
You completely botched my entire extra dramatic return intro.
We do this dramatic return for Vince on the last episode, except I forgot to turn his audio on. So although I could hear him in our Zoom call on Twitch, he was muted. So he's sitting there giving this impassioned speech. None of it came through. But
And then when I started talking, my volume was low.
yeah, that got fixed really quick though.
Yeah. No, I noticed. I went back and watched the YouTube
But
version.
yeah, if you watch the
I pulled
YouTube
it
version,
up.
it just cuts to us laughing.
All the more reason to join the live stream so you get on the inside with the jokes.
Yeah, speaking of which, we are live on twitch.tv/ putting you over. You can catch us here for our Raw, AEW, and SmackDown recaps along with pay-per-views. We shoot our NXT recaps live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ SmackDraw podcast. And then, of course, you can catch all our content over on YouTube. Just search for our name. And then, of course, if you like the audio version of everything, we're on pretty much everything. Like name a platform. What's your favorite audio podcast platform?
For me personally, I love Spotify just
On
because I can go ahead and be on my PS4 while I'm listening to the podcast, and that's the best of both worlds right there, man.
Yeah, man. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Radio. I really don't know that many, but apparently Podbean
Google
has just
Play,
put us on everything.
Play music,
Music, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also, if you want to help support the show, I want to give a special thank you to all of our patrons. You know, Vince, over on patreon.com/SmackDraw podcast, you can go ahead and get stickers, t-shirts. We're coming up with some new designs, hopefully by early next year. Going to have some new stuff. I want to thank you. All of our original patrons, still patrons today, which I think is amazing.
Nice.
You guys have been supporting us for the second half of the year. And ever since we went live, man, I really, really want to thank y'all. Especially Loyalty J here in the chat. He's an actual patron. It took him a couple months to find his wallet, but when he did, he subbed. And I still owe him some stickers. I guess I'll mail them out either today or tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to mail him his sticker pack out today. And then I got to send out D-Rod some stuff for winning the... What did he win? Our predictions season 1 of predictions. Send out D-Rod some stickers too. But
you really dried that out. I really thought you were gonna do like a very undramatic reveal to you winning predictions. I really thought that's where you were going with
oh
it.
no, man! I did like a half hour.
You did, man.
I ran
You were
down
blowing
that
up my
whole
fucking phone.
bracket. By the end, people were into it, man. People were getting pissed. They're like, Kyle's making this a big deal just to reveal that he won predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Came in second.
What did I end? What did I end up like?
I think you came in like fifth, like fourth, or I
Fourth or
don't. You
fifth?
didn't medal. It was me, D-Rod, and Matt Ritter got first,
Yeah, I
second,
think-
and third.
I think
Katie
I might
was
have been
just
fourth.
outside the top 5.
I think I might have been fourth then.
Yeah, because I know that Loyalty J was 5th, which pissed off Katie, which was
Mhm.
hilarious because she was trash talking him earlier in the night, and I was like, you might want to slow your roll, Katie.
Yeah,
And then so I think you were 4th place.
sounds about right.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
take number 4. Katie's new designs, maybe. Katie, maybe.
Maybe
If
we're
I get some
hoping
free
so.
time.
So I see you're in a hotel.
Yes, I'm in a hotel.
Yeah. Are you fresh off like a what type of jobs make you go to hotels? Are you a hitman? Are you fresh off of a latest contract?
No, no, I'm not a hitman this week. I didn't really have anything going, man. Like I said, I just wanted a space to myself. Wanted to reward myself for all the hard work. So I decided to come over here and chill, relax, watch some Raw, and do the podcast with you.
Got you, man.
Yeah.
You must have. I know we've known each other for a while now.
Almost.
I've tried to get in my head, and you don't have to disclose it. I've tried to get in my head how many people you got in one household, because it's a lot, right? Or maybe,
Yes.
like I said, you don't have to disclose it, but is it more than 6, yourself included?
Myself included, it was 6. It was more than 6. Now it's down to 5.
Nice.
But there's still very little privacy and
Right.
very little quiets. So
I don't blame you, man. I think I'd be getting a hotel too. Shoot, I got me, Jess, and the kids in this house, and half the time I want to go to a hotel for just a night. You know?
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Jess, if you're in the chat.
Might have left. She might have left with that comment.
She may have. It says she's still here.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about Rob. Yeah, she's still here. She's rolling her eyes at me. Damn it. Oh, Raw last night. You said you missed the Ascension ceremony. It's a non-factor. It doesn't even factor into
Okay.
the show really
That's fine.
much. Other than that, what was your overall opinion?
I don't know if it added much to the build to TLC this Sunday. I did, however, enjoy Lana's segments. The stuff with Lana I thought was really good.
Man, that was my highlight.
I think that was the highlight. That and maybe our truth interrupting Elias. And I was like, hey man, I'm just here to apologize for interrupting you. I was like, but you're interrupting. I'm like, nah man, I'm gonna be quiet. Like I thought that was kind of funny. Like he was kind of productive. And then the rest of the people from the 24/7 title picture came in and interrupted. So
It was interesting. Do you find it controversial that Jackson Riker's on TV?
it's WWE programming, right?
Yes.
Then I don't find it controversial. They're gonna go ahead and just be tone deaf about stuff regardless.
Yeah.
Plus, here's a maybe you guys don't know about this, but I do not care for Elias. He is one of my least favorite wrestlers in all of wrestling. So him being paired up with Jackson Riker, I really do not care. Like I could care less. It's a blimp in my life.
It's apathetic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
apathy.
Yeah.
I hear you. My thing is like, I don't think you should be fired over your political affiliations, whether people agree with them or not, or whether they're good or bad, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But I forget who brought it up, because this isn't my own thought. I read it on Twitter. I think I want to say maybe Kenny for your thoughts. And I apologize if it wasn't him and it was somebody else. But they kind of shared my sentiment, whereas like I don't think you should be fired for your political affiliations. But the real question was, like, what does he add to the product? You know,
Yeah.
Jackson Riker's been around for a long time now, and he doesn't really add anything. Except for that one time in the North American ladder match where he just got beat down by everybody.
Yes, that was the highlight of his career.
Yeah, man, that's still the biggest, like, most memorable moment of this man's WWE tenure. So, I mean, my thing is he just doesn't add much. Honestly, he'll probably fall by the wayside, kind of like Lars Sullivan, which that's another person, surprisingly, still has a job. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not a draw, they're gonna take you off TV at some point, you know?
Yeah.
It just feels like they have never really gave him anything to work with. So I feel like that's why they're not getting rid of him just yet. Is because they're like, well, we haven't really even tried to use this guy yet. Let's see what we can do with him and then see where it goes.
I mean, he's not even like a good mic guy. Like he just has like a good look to him, and
Yeah.
that was the big draw with his signing.
I mean, him and Elias look like they could be brothers. I mean, that's like the only reason I think they're paired up is they look so similar.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably the main reason.
Yeah. You guys both are white and have beards. Come on. Let's put you in a tag team.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Hopefully the stream isn't choppy for you guys. I'm noticing that my little light
Yeah.
indicator says it's red. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed it, like it could be a little, but it'll be fine.
I don't know.
Go back and watch the YouTube version later.
Yeah. Let me just make sure I don't have my VPN on. I know my VPN really messes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my VPN. We're going to disconnect really quick on the live side, but we'll be right back. That's exactly what it was. Okay. I mean, we can just keep going forward. It's just the live stream that got turned off for a moment.
Okay. Well, you're frozen on my end, so I can't see you.
Oh yeah, because of
there you are.
Zoom.
Yeah. You're unfrozen now. You're unfrozen.
I am unfrozen.
Yeah, unfrozen.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
I have like, there we go. Stuff's like not working for a moment, and then it's coming back. The audio version's gonna be fine. I feel bad for people in the live chat.
That'll be okay.
Okay, we should be going back up now here in just a second.
You're gonna cut all this?
No. It stays in. This is gonna be all of like 45 seconds on the actual recording side. So let me see here. Oh, you know what? You know why I'm blanking so much? Oh, like always, it wouldn't be a podcast with me if I don't have my notes in front of me. No wonder I don't know what the fuck to talk about. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to cuss. There we go. There we go. We're in it now. We're in it now. All right. There we go. We kicked off the night with Dirt Sheet. College performance theater. This was fantastic, Vince. I loved it, man.
So here's the thing: I had to go rewatch it to like really like appreciate it, because I was watching it initially on my phone while I was in the car, and I couldn't really like get a grasp of what was going on. But then when I rewatched it, I thought it was very good. I thought AJ Styles was amazing in the role. He just kind of like went with it. I think John Morrison probably overdid it a little bit, but I thought it was still all very good. Like, it was okay.
Apparently, this is the second time John Morrison has dressed up like Mel Gibson from Braveheart to mock Drew McIntyre. I guess he did it way back in 2009.
Yeah, he did actually. Like, ironically enough, I remember that because I was watching SmackDown during the time, and they were feuding for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's when they went ahead and did that whole little bit.
Yeah. No, I loved it. So what really sold me was because it kicks off with the Miz in the ring with all the lights dimmed around him, just under a single spotlight. You can see like holiday festive stuff in the ring, ladders and everything like for that's promoting TLC. And he starts to read a poem labeled "The Nightmare Before TLC," and what sold it is when he starts talking about his protagonist and then he snaps his fingers. Out of the darkness, a spotlight comes on AJ Styles in like his phenomenal pose. And at that point I cracked up. Like,
he had like the most cheesiest smile on his face.
He knew how silly that was and how funny it was, man. Oh god, I loved it. AJ at one point as the poem goes on, AJ says he forgot Almas, so AJ snaps his finger and a spotlight goes on Almas outside the ring. The Miz says that he rewrote some stuff, snaps his finger, and the light disappeared. It was fantastic stuff. They revealed John Morrison dressed as Mel Gibson from Braveheart with the half blue face paint, wearing a kilt, and then they just went ahead and acted out a really cheesy, safe TLC match. Complete with the broadsword getting stuck in Morrison's kilt. And they couldn't do like the image they were trying to portray was the sword going through him, but it went into his kilt, so you couldn't see it.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, and it's hilarious because you see them struggle to try and fix it, and oh man, it was so cheesy. I loved it.
I feel like that kind of added to the charm, though. It was like unintentionally charming.
Oh man, it was good. It was legitimately funny. It kind of set the theme for the night. The theme of the night, honestly, was cringe. I'm not gonna lie. There was so many things that were just cringy, but this was one of the good ones, I think. It resulted in Sheamus coming out because he was scheduled to have a match against AJ Styles later on. Instead, though, they ended up like hitting each other. I think AJ threw like a tree at him, and Sheamus threw like a box at AJ
Oh my
Styles.
gosh! Yes, he threw like one of the like prop like Christmas present boxes at AJ outside the ring, and he just like sold it like he got hit in the face with a truck. I freaking loved it. And then they hopped right into the match, which is I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, no, they did exactly. They cut to commercial and come back, and they said they just wanted to. That's what commentary was saying. It was like, we're not going to wait till tonight. These guys want to go right now, and that's exactly what happened. They had a match. Dude, how about Sheamus? Who go back a year, 2 years, 2016, and try to tell yourself that in 2020, Sheamus would be putting consistently on like 4-star matches. Like match after match. The dude has had like a career resurgence for his match quality this year, man. And this was no exception. I think just a lot of people realized it. Damn, he's had a lot of good matches lately.
I feel like he's always been able to put on good matches, but I feel like he suffered from the Miz syndrome where he's been around for so long and it's been almost a similar character where people just assume he's a bad wrestler or a boring wrestler. And then when you go away for a while or you realize that their career might be over, in the case of Sheamus, his career was in jeopardy at one point.
The spinal stenosis, man.
Yeah. That was a serious injury right there. And then he comes back and then you just kind of appreciate the work he's been doing. And him going back to the Celtic Warrior character and then being paired up with like the buddy thing with Drew McIntyre, I feel like really adds to him, makes him feel more genuine.
Have you seen what they're doing like on social media side of things?
I have not.
All week long, like on Twitter, it's Drew and Sheamus watching like soccer together, ice skating together. It's just like you could take a compilation of all of their Twitter posts from the last week and dub it to the song like My Best Friend. That song's like, let me tell you about my best friend or whatever.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
Yes. That has been their shtick. I'm so ready for Drew now to lose his title just so we can get the tag team of him and Sheamus. Because their chemistry is fire, man.
Why haven't we had that team yet?
Huh?
Like I feel like we should have had that team at some point.
I'm telling you, man, we're about to, and I'm totally cool if that means Drew loses the belt, just because I know how entertaining him and Sheamus are going to be together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was like, people forget that when he was a member of 3MB, regardless of what 3MB was, he was very good comedy wise, doing stuff with Jinder and Heath Slater. So he can do some comedy stuff.
Yeah. So that's my caveat. I love Drew as champ, but if I'm okay as long as you give me the tag team of him and Sheamus. Which, by the way, speaking on Sheamus, how about him and Cesaro just somehow being able to mesh as tag team partners with a huge variety of people, it seems.
Sheamus has teamed with Cesaro and who else?
Well, maybe I'm thinking more Cesaro.
Because
more examples come to mind with Cesaro, with Nakamura, Sheamus, Tyson Kidd. But that's 3 really well tag teams he's been in, like well known.
Oh, Jack Swagger as the Real Americans.
Yep.
And then beforehand with Cassius Ohno, aka Chris Hero, they were the Kings of Wrestling, so they were a good team together. So he's good tag team wrestling wise. I just kind of want to see him outside of that role and actually be pushed to the upper mid card, if not the main event.
Yeah.
We've been barking up that tree for about like 5 years, man.
Yeah. that's we've almost all but given up on that. All right. So after this, after the match, the match goes on with AJ targeting Sheamus's left leg. At one point, Sheamus attempts to powerbomb AJ Styles on the outside, almost just picks AJ up off of Sheamus's shoulders and sets him down. Really excited to see what Almost can do. Hopefully the guy can do work a little bit. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. He gives me Great Khali.
I know. I get the same vibes too.
Yeah, those are the kind of vibes I get.
Yeah.
But nah, man, like the match was really good, and like the story, like you said, it was like AJ working the leg of Sheamus, and it came into a factor with the finish.
Yeah, Sheamus was about to do white noise from the second rope, which, by the way, 3 matches on Raw all had finishes from the top rope. from reversals on the top rope, or second to top rope. This was the first of them. Yeah, AJ slips out of white noise, delivers a chop block, and then rolls Sheamus up. After the match, AJ's running his mouth, and Sheamus reaches through the ropes and then gets pulled by Almas out and is like hung upside down. This is one of the more unique ways I've seen people tied up in the ropes. Sheamus's giant self upside down. At that point, AJ grabs a chair and starts beating him like a piñata with the damn chair. Like, this man had candy inside him.
I could have sworn I saw a couple like shots at the dick,
yeah,
the orange region a couple of times.
I
don't know if it was intentional or not, but
the
looked
penis
like it was there.
And
yeah,
the elbow. A lot of them went to the elbow. That looked like it hurt like hell.
With the chair, nah, yeah.
Sheamus, man, had to have been lightheaded. He hung upside down for a while, man.
He's a trooper.
Yeah, I don't know, but just building towards AJ and Drew McIntyre, trying to get that little extra heat, beating down Drew's best friend. Oh, man. What do you think of the Hurt Business? I haven't really gotten your opinion on these guys.
I like them. I even like the little like wrinkle of Cedric getting a big head being aligned with them. I'm all for it, especially considering that he's been able to get clean wins. Well, I guess like not clean wins, but like good wins over the current tag champions, which commentary put him over as like, oh, Cedric's the reason why they have this tag title shot on Sunday is because he's gotten 2 single victories over both champions. So,
yeah.
I'm all for it. I like it. MVP has been great.
He was great for him. I love that they all dress in like the nicest suits.
I don't know about Bobby Lashley's suit tonight. Like last night, it was kind of bad, and then he pours the milk over the poor guy, and then he gets the milk onto his suit. And as they're being interviewed by the generic interviewer number 4, like he's out here like wiping off the milk from his suit. It's like, bro, just at that point,
it's a lot of money down the drain right there. Yeah. So one thing that I know you haven't watched too much Raw. One thing the Hurt Business does is they bully stagehands. Either they're sitting too close to them at catering, they walk in their shot while they're like walking down the hallway. They always end up bullying stagehands. This stagehand happened to be eating some bro nuts while wearing an original bro hat, which he claimed he just found, just laying around.
Where, merch stand?
Yeah, right. Lashley pours milk over the guy, like you said, and half that milk landed on Lashley's suit. Like myself, Reek, you, we all picked up on it, and it was just like, oh man, I cringe if I get like a little bit of my tuna sandwich on my sweatshirt, let alone pour milk on a tailored suit. But during the interview, like you said, Lashley, you could see him motioning. They were just putting over their matches later in the evening. MVP has a match against Riddle, and then of course they have the 6-man tag against New Day and the Hardys. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought I heard my phone ringing.
No, that's fine. You're good.
Weird. I'm just hearing stuff. I see you looking off frame too, man. A lot of weird stuff going on.
Okay, yeah. I got some weird stuff going on over here too.
Prior to the 6-man tag match, Matt Riddle's hanging out backstage with Jeff Hardy and the New Day. Xavier slips this funny joke in there. He says, I don't care how many times you ask me, Riddle. G4 is not going to put on a game show called Riddle Me This. I pop for that. I'm excited to see Xavier Woods on G4, like the resurgence of G4. Are you familiar with the station?
I am not.
So back over 10 years ago, probably about 10, 15 years ago, G4 was a cable station devoted to everything video game. So video game news, games.
That's right up his alley.
It's essentially, if you go into a GameStop, you know how like on the monitors in GameStop, they'll be playing through ads and interviews and everything video game related. That's kind of like what G4 was.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the station that Xavier Woods is going to be on.
Gotcha.
But so also, which do you want more? Do you want the Hardy Bros or do you want Bro E?
I want neither. But if you're tying my hands and making me choose something, I say the Hardy Bros. I feel like Jeff and Matt looked like the type of guys that would hang out outside of the business. So why not pair them up together? I don't want anyone trying to replace Big E unless it's Kevin Owens.
There you go.
Yeah. The Big O when he calls himself.
Oh, man.
I was like, it'll be funnier. Just call me Big O.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think Riddle and Jeff have chemistry. I know a lot of people are sour on Riddle. I don't know. Like, I feel like from what I gathered yesterday, Vince McMahon supposedly behind the scenes is just now starting to understand Matt Riddle. He's got stoner humor and he can wrestle. Like, it's reported that Vince just found this out like within the last week. Like, it all of a sudden clicked. And,
really?
Yeah, and now Vince,
it makes sense now.
Yeah.
I feel like they're using him better now.
Yeah, because the report went further on to say that Vince essentially said that Matt Riddle needs to be on TV every week, whether that means like a main event push or something along the lines of R-Truth. We're going to see Riddle on supposedly consistently. He's going to be on Raw, like consistent. So
yeah,
we'll see. 6-man tag. This one I kind of skimmed over the first half. The second half was really strong. Did I miss anything other than poor Kofi Kingston getting ripped over the top ropes by Bobby Lashley?
No, man. It was just a standard A plus match, like a grade A match. It was really good. Nothing really crazy stood out except for like the high flying spots towards the end right there, which is what you were mentioning. You didn't miss much.
Well, no. At one point, Kofi went for like a Trouble in Paradise and found himself in the corner. Bobby Lashley from behind pulled him like flawlessly over the top ropes. And you know how normally when you go over the top ropes, you're supposed to like clip the apron on the way to the floor. Kofi completely bypassed that apron and just bumped onto the floor. It looked nasty.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch it. Yeah, he just essentially fell from the top. I mean, from the distance from the top ropes to the floor. It looked nasty. Yeah, but then, like you said, all the high flying spots at the end. Kofi Kingston, surprisingly, doing a high spot, diving over the top ropes. A lot of people get this wrong. They think Kofi's a high flyer. If you go and watch, Kofi avoids doing big spots that aren't like overly safe. Like normally if Kofi comes off the top ropes, you have a ton of people on the floor. You don't see too many times him running and diving off the top ropes.
Yeah, no. He's a pretty safe worker. That's why he has longevity.
Yeah. Same with Xavier Woods. Xavier dove too. Cedric goes for a ton of roll-ups on Jeff Hardy, who's fresh off of his hot tag. Weird. Jeff isn't really like the hot tag type for me. Because hot tag, you're supposed to come out with a lot of like assertiveness and a lot of speed and aggressive. Like Jeff can't move like that. Like Jeff has to have very deliberate movements.
Even when he was going up for the Whisper in the Wind towards the end to like go for like a hot move, like it took him forever.
Dude, Jeff is not going to age well. Like in his older years, that dude's going to have some. He already has some mobility issues, but he's going to have some serious mobility issues.
I feel like both Hardys are having mobility issues right now.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's tailbone fusing with his spine. Well, anyways, at one point Cedric gets a blind tag, and Lashley is able to go ahead and hit the Hurt Lock. On Jeff Hardy for the win. And then Cedric Alexander's like over celebration. I love it, dude. Who was it in our chat? They said that he gives off Scrappy Doo vibes.
I don't recall that. Scrappy Doo? Who was Cedric?
Yeah, he does though, man. He gives off Scrappy Doo vibes. I completely agreed with him.
Now that you mentioned, I can't see the Scrappy Doo vibes right there.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna put him out right now. I want to say it's Reek. Which
Probably.
if you guys are not following him, which I know you're not, because he really doesn't have that many followers on Twitter, you need to follow Wreak Havoc. It's at RIQHAVOK 24. Follow this guy, man. He knows a ton about wrestling. He's a lot of fun to talk to.
He also has his own podcast, the Havoc Hour, where he talks UFC, boxing, and other sports as well, such as the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, man. Is he part of Young Kings?
Yeah,
he is part of Young Kings. Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Kings, yeah. Yeah, no, he's like a triple threat. He has his own podcast. He's part of Young Kings, and then he hops on smacking it raw from time to time.
Got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's him. I can't find it. Our group chat was going off for a bit last night, but I'm pretty sure it was him. Oh, Katie Kins in the live chat says it was him. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was not paying attention to the live chat, to the group chat yesterday.
Man, if it goes once someone finds a subject, it goes.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. You know who kills the group chat?
Who?
Kevin.
Probably does.
The moment he brings up blue cheese or the Bills, everyone's like, it's essentially the piss break of the show.
See, I love Kevin. He's cool and all, but we don't football in that group chat, and also
at least not this year.
You no. Like the joke. That's like what, like a 2-3 week old joke.
What?
The blue cheese.
He's been going on. He's finally kind of tapered off. I think we all started trolling him enough. Every time he said blue cheese, we like start just like putting in random facts. Because what it was because he would just with no like trigger or nothing, just it'd be out of the blue. This man would just start talking about blue cheese, and referring it to almost like the Monday Night Messiah, like Seth Rollins, like all hail the unholy blue cheese or whatever. And so like I just started putting in random facts. Like I think I said like at one of them like Charlie Chaplin placed third in a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest. And they're like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? I'm like, well, it's the same thing with the blue cheese. It's like anytime he randomly brings up blue cheese, I'm just gonna throw out a random fact.
Good.
We did that for a couple days, and
Let's
I think
throw some cold water on it.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Oh man. Oh shit. They ran back the boobs on her back joke. Did you catch that last week on Raw?
I caught it and I cringed then and I cringed last night.
Dude, I don't know. Not the joke itself, but the back and forth between Shayna and Nia Jax I find hilarious. Like, what do you think?
Their dynamic is pretty good. I like them as a pairing. I was skeptical initially when they first became a team, but I don't know. They have like this like weird like chemistry together where like they shouldn't work, but they somehow do.
Who's like some other like odd bedfellow tag teams that, you know, obviously when you think of odd bedfellows, the Rock and Sock connection.
Team Hell No.
Team Hell No.
That's a big one for me. I think that was my Rock and Sock connection, I guess.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest regret in my period of wrestling I didn't watch is I missed CM Punk and Team Hell No.
That's so good. Such good shit.
I literally came back to watching wrestling the year that CM Punk retired or quit. It was that WrestleMania was when I started watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Again.
It was end of an era, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I
can't remember. I just know it was this. I believe it was the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays everyone thinks CM Punk's a joke anyway, so I guess I didn't miss out too much.
It's just again, it's just like people that either left wrestling around the same time you did and missed this entire rise, or it's people that didn't watch his rise and are younger now and just like, oh, he's overhyped, you know.
Yeah.
No, I like he is the hype, you know. Like to quote Team 4-Star and Vegeta's parody from there, it's like he is the hype. I'm not saying that just because I'm from Chicago and he's one of my favorite wrestlers, but in the ring, on the mic, that guy could literally almost do anything you gave him. Like if you gave him chicken shit, he turned it into chicken salad.
Do you think he could though in 2020? His body type, he's not that strong anymore.
No, but he was never that strong, and his moveset was always very diverse. He was doing like the UFC strikes, like the high kicks, the backhand blows, right before everyone was doing it. And he never had too many high flying stuff. He had like a springboard here and there, but it wasn't anything that he can't do now. I mean, if you look at like guys like Goldberg and Undertaker, they're all, and even Triple H, they're coming in and doing like matches. He can come in and like put on like a ground based match because he can be a ground based wrestler. So he's very versatile in that kind of offense. Yeah. Eddie would be Eddie and Ray are like, I think are a little bit high above him just because I feel like they can wrestle just about any style you need them to.
Well, Eddie was freakishly strong though for his size too though.
Yeah.
Eddie was powerful.
Yeah, and then he can go from wrestling a wrestling classic with Kurt Angle to wrestling a lucha style like with Rey Mysterio. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No. Yeah, I wonder about CM Punk. I think he will come back and do something at some point. I feel like that man kind of wants to, but he may have
his pride.
I wouldn't just say pride. You kind of hold out for like a big offer, like that like the longer you wait, the higher the money goes. But I feel like that stock is actually already peaked, and I think it's on the decline now. I feel like his stock is going down. It's no longer rising. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I do think if he returns, though, it'll probably be to AEW. I still believe that. I know there's a lot of stuff contrary to that, but the fact that Vince says he'll never work with CM Punk again, and you rarely ever hear about that. Usually Vince and Triple H are always keen to say the door is always left open if it makes sense for business, but we'll see. The highlight of the day for me was and honestly, dude, I'm becoming a big Lana fan. I don't know how this is happening. I would love somebody to make a compilation video of my clips of how I've slowly turned the corner with Lana, because you can go back to earlier this year. We always bring it up, me and Katie do, when Lana was paired with Natalya. And I said this was a great thing because that means you could consolidate both of their segments into one segment and just get by them. To now, like, I literally was looking forward to Lana's match over anything else that was on the show. So I've somehow turned a corner, man.
I popped when she actually got the win. Because,
I literally, it got the biggest reaction. Holy shit.
It was a good feel-good moment because initially when she debuted with Rusev, I was like, okay, she's a good piece. She's a good like part of Rusev's character, and I liked the ravishing Russian character she was doing. Then when she tried to like be paired up with Dolph Ziggler, or when she was doing her own stuff, it wasn't translating. It just was not hitting. And especially because I was watching Total Divas at the time, and she's just as annoying, if not more annoying, on Total Divas than she is on WWE programming. So I really soured on Lana very quickly. Everything she was doing, even her TikToks that Matt loves, I would be annoyed by.
I wasn't a big fan of the TikToks.
They were cringe for me too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like this whole like program with Nia has really brought out the sympathy, because you're like, you feel bad. Like if it was like once or twice, like I think like maybe like the first 3 weeks, I was like, yeah, I put it to the table. But then afterwards, I'm like, okay.
Up to like 7-8 times.
They went 9 weeks. At the 9th week, by the 9th week, so like that one Simpsons gif was like, stop. She's already dead. Yeah, that was my whole thing. I felt bad for this woman. And because I did watch Total Divas, I know she really did try really hard to get good in the ring. And
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's just her just being better. And she also, I think she did like this video on like Twitter, on social media, where she just kind of broke down. Oh, you know what it was? It was the Lana documentary that they did, where she was just broken down, where it's just like, why does everybody hate me? Everything I post, everybody has so much negative things to say about me. You just feel bad for the person.
Yeah, and I feel like the me and Katie joke about this too. 9 out of 10 weeks, because it wasn't. They did skip a week due to COVID. But anyways, I feel like that segment had cross appeal for both kayfabe story and people who pay attention to the backstage ongoings, because it got people talking about both. A lot of people for backstage were like, oh, they're punishing her for Rusev being on AEW, this and that.
I never got behind that train. Like, why would they be punishing her for like her husband going to AEW when he got fired? It's not like he requested his release or anything.
I know. But I mean, like I said, I think it crossed a couple of those wires. And I feel like it hit a sweet spot. And like I said, I kind of like really, just to say honestly the same things you did over those 9 weeks. I was just like, okay, I can't wait for her to. The only thing you can do is let her come back now. Like, you'd be stupid not to let her come back from this.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah, it was great, man. I popped huge. I also found it touching backstage before the match even began. The pep talk that Asuka was delivering said, "We know you're scared and everything, but you going out there in spite of all that fear makes you the bravest woman on the roster." And I was like, "Holy shit! What a heartfelt message to deliver to Lana of all people."
Like I can't wait to be your tag team partner. We're gonna win the tag team. Like it was all very great. Like it was wholesome as fuck, man.
It's like one of Asuka's best English cut promos I've ever heard.
Right, and then like even like the fact where like she stays in Gorilla to watch her match and support her friend, but doesn't go to the ringside area to let her do this on her own, so she can't face this fear on her own. I don't know if they meant to do that or I'm reading too much into it, but I felt like Lana going out there by herself and Asuka just watching in Gorilla on the TV was her way of being like, I know you can do this without my help. You can get this one.
I think honestly, I mean, that's kind of like what's conveyed and what you can take away from it. But I felt like it was for the post-match beatdown. So Asuka wasn't able to get in there right away. Because that's exactly what happened. Out of nowhere, Lana's able to pull off this victory. Second one off the top ropes of the evening. Lana's able to reverse a powerbomb into a Hurricanrana, and then she's able to avoid a Samoan drop. She kicks a Samoan drop from the second ropes, excuse me. She kicks Nia Jax's legs out. Nia's hung up on the rope. She delivers a stomp and then pins Nia right there, clean as a whistle. But afterwards, her knee and ankle is promptly murdered by Shayna Baszler. Lana also can on screen cry on a dime.
She's so good.
Yeah, she legitimately can just cry at any point. And Asuka comes out for the save, followed by a returning. No. It wasn't. Who was it? It wasn't Asuka actually at first, was it? No.
Asuka came out, made the save. I think what you're thinking of. Dana had a match with Shayna later on in the night.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So yeah, Asuka was the one who came out for the save. But the damage was already done. You knew at that point Lana's injured and out of TLC. I think this is kind of a good thing. Just because those titles are jammed up. I almost want to see Asuka removed from the tag team match and maybe handed over to Dana and the returning Mandy Rose, who returns later in the night. And see maybe somehow if they can get those titles. Maybe get those titles off of Shayna and Nia Jax. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Still one, like I said, biggest pop of the night was watching Lana pin Nia Jax.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What'd you think? So afterwards, it looks like Elias plucked Jackson Riker from the unemployment line. Saved his job in a heartbeat, man.
Man, honestly, the only highlight of this was R-Truth for me. Like I mentioned at the top of the podcast, he is hilarious. He is he's absolute gold. He's a national treasure. Someone protect and wrap R-Truth and bubble wrap and protect him for ages, because I don't want him to be away from TV, man. He's just so good. He's hilarious. That for me, I thought that was the big thing was they were just trying to get over Jackson Riker by having him squash Grand Metalik for a bit here and there, and again, just what was the point other than that? Just to have Jackson Riker hit a cool move and then R-Truth be funny.
Well, the news reports from the last week or two is that Elias is going under a gimmick change, based off of when he electrocuted himself in that match against Jeff Hardy.
Right.
They said that he's supposed to have some sort of holy gimmick change, seen the light kind of deal. We got a little glimpse of it last night. He touched on it, says he was baptized in electricity. He said he had visions, and in those visions he saw Jackson Riker, which is why he is pairing with him now. But we didn't really get anything beyond that, because like you said, as he started to go for a performance, R-Truth with Joke of the Night comes out, interrupts Elias to apologize for interrupting him on Main Event. And he's like, I just want you to know that I don't interrupt you. And while he's interrupting him, it was a funny joke. Elias then continues his performance. The whole mid card comes out. It's the same people too. Every time it's Lucha House Party. It is Drew Gulak, Tozawa, and that's I believe. Oh, and Eric, yeah.
You mean Kaitai show?
But yeah, everybody gets wiped out, and that's the segment. I guess we'll have to wait and see a little bit more of what they're doing with Elias, but I honestly don't think they're going to change much. Even though they say it's a gimmick, he's going to go under a gimmick change. Elias just doesn't seem like he would have that much range. No. Like I feel like what you see with Elias is what you get.
Yeah, that's why I've never been like a big Elias guy, because I know this is the most you're going to get.
Yeah,
him being put in a title picture just doesn't do it for me. That's who
24/7 title picture too.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. You can just that's your title scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Then we had the Firefly Funhouse field trip. I gotta say, the mystique.
Was this a miss?
The mystique of Bray Wyatt is being eroded. It's not gone, and anytime he breaks the Fiend out of nowhere, it helps recapture. His character that we got last night did not strike me as the same Firefly Funhouse Mr. Rogers character that we were getting initially. Like, no. I feel like it's being scrubbed. And it's interesting because I'm not souring. Like, I'm there for the Fiend, but I don't feel like I'm investing much in the other aspect of this character anymore. It feels like they're running out of content.
I feel like it's that, but it's also the addition of Alexa Bliss. I feel like you're more intrigued with her transformation as opposed to, because you've been seeing this version of Bray for over a year, and he has like drifted from his original like demeanor. Like he even like I don't know, because like before he used to be like, oh no, I'm a good guy, but like I do bad things, you know, like under like an underlying tone. Now it's just kind of like he's saying like evilish things, but in a happier tone. If that makes any sense.
That in the presentation is gone. The presentation was that this is like a kids show host, and I'm feeling like just that host, the host aspect is being scrubbed away. Like,
do you feel like he should not leave the funhouse at all?
Right now, no. Unless they got something really special. Like, it didn't, dude. Like, you had him out in the ring for no reason. I thought they were going to do something out there. They had the puppets behind the barriers and everything, but I mean, it was really nothing. It was a nothing segment just so you could get the image of him in the ring and Randy Orton on the. Do you still call it the Titantron?
Yeah.
Okay, but beforehand, I mean, all he did was he ran down some bad jokes that he laughed ridiculously hard. WWE on Fox Twitter tried to salvage it and showed the comparison of him telling jokes to that of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker when he was on stage telling his really bad jokes.
Which is a fair comparison.
Yeah, I was say this is an all right one.
Yeah.
His jokes consisted of do you know why you measure vipers in inches? It's because they have no feet. And then
okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, that one got me. That one got me. But the one about the windshield vipers,
where it was just a pun.
Yeah.
How do snakes clean car windows? And they said with windshield vipers. I don't know, man. Like I said, I wasn't mad at the jokes. I was like, I just feel like it's not the same character that he was.
No, he's not.
And then like the backstage stuff didn't help either. But yeah, Randy Orton appears on screen, challenges Bray to hide and seek. Come find me. Bray Wyatt's character says he can't turn down a game, so he accepts. And then he heads off, and for the majority of the rest of the evening, it's him running into other characters backstage that Bray Wyatt probably should not interact with. Especially R-Truth. Oh man, the R-Truth shit hurt. But anyways, before we ever got there, we had Mace of Retribution takes on Ricochet. Poor Ricochet goes from getting beat down for like 3 months by the Hurt Business to now has to get beat down by another faction.
He should take a cue from Cedric's book and just join Retribution.
Just join it. Yeah.
Just join them.
Just get swallowed up, man.
Yeah, why not?
Oh man. The best part about this whole match was Ali calling out Samoa Joe, saying that he was in Mace's seat, referencing Dio Madden as the commentator.
Yes.
That was gold. Katie and
Mustafa Ali is the only thing saving this, and then
barely, man. He is like the life
Twitter.
Support.
Yeah, the Twitter action is what saves it too.
Yeah, like Ali is the power cord that's plugged into the wall for life support.
Yes.
But
if they didn't do that, they'd be gone.
Yeah. Katie in the live chat says, do you think they are overusing the Fiend? He's been on TV almost every week. Saw a question on Twitter, so I'm curious what you think.
Personally, I don't think so, just because they're building up a feud, and that's perfectly fine. They're not overusing him. Like, I think it's just like spurts here and there, even though it's on a weekly basis. I think it's fine. I don't think it's similar to like the Demon character with Finn Balor, where it was just busted out for pay-per-views. It should be this Jekyll and Hyde dynamic with the Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, where he comes out to do the bidding for Bray Wyatt when he can't cut, and it should be that.
Yeah,
especially with what they were doing today, I thought it fit perfectly.
I honestly feel like they've been overusing Bray Wyatt, and I liked how much Fiend I'm getting.
Yeah. So I think it's Bray Wyatt that we need to cut down on, or just keep him in the funhouse in the host setting.
Yep. Yeah, I'm right there. Yeah, we mentioned that Mace beat Ricochet. Yeah, so the first of the couple segments of backstage of Bray Wyatt running around, he runs into Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle.
And Riddle is like, hey, I've come up with this chart. He's got like a pie chart, or not a pie chart. What's the is it a Venn diagram when you have the two circles and then like the intersection?
Yeah.
So. He's like, look, I'm taking like we're gonna create bro nouns, and he's like, this is our demographic right here. It could be like a segment you could put on the Firefly Funhouse. Mm-hmm. And then Bray Wyatt's like, yeah, I'm pressed on time. Like he shouldn't interact with these people, man. Like his character is.
But here's the thing: if you're talking about Bray going back to the more of his original character when he first debuted in the Funhouse, I think those are the perfect characters for him to be like interacting with.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I just saw a random arm reach over the headboard.
On my end?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways,
it's haunted in here.
Yeah. Ramblin' Rabbit appears, and Matt Riddle calls him Baby Broda. Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah. Afterwards, was the Shayna Baszler match against Dana Brooke, where honestly nothing happened. Fucking Nia Jax got her DQ'd. Why would Nia Jax interfere in a match between Shayna Baszler and Dana Brooke? As much as I love Dana, Brooke, the woman stands less of a chance of beating Shayna Baszler than Lana does of Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that Nia Jax had to get involved here? It was lame, dude. It was lame.
I think if I could play devil's advocate here, I would say it was more or less her like relieving some of the frustration that she had from losing her match with Lana, and just like taking that out on poor Dana.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what it was.
Okay, I feel like our room just got raided over here on Twitch. That, or we just had about 15 bots appear. I think it's actually bots. Mm-hmm. Just had like a ton of bots out of nowhere just appear in our chat. But you say it was just her relieving frustration from losing earlier to Lana.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay. Either way, they were beating down Dana Brooke. Mandy Rose makes her return with a kendo stick, starts beating everybody down, and followed by Asuka. And so you have this odd pairing of the three the first thing that came to mind is, okay, we're looking at the replacement for Lana in TLC, but who do you replace Lana with? You would think Mandy Rose if Dana was injured, but they didn't play an injury angle.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Maybe they can swing it where Asuka's like, you guys are a team. I'm gonna give you my spot so you guys can both be in the match, and that's how you go into it. Or it's neither of them. It's gonna be someone else. I saw you were plugging the idea of Becky.
That's returning. A joke. It was a joke.
It was a joke.
It was a joke.
Joke, guys. Like, I know he wasn't being serious. I saw people saying this is how Charlotte gets reintroduced, and then turns on Asuka and turns into a program with Asuka and Charlotte. Which, do we really want to say that again? I don't think we
do.
Dude,
so let me go on record in saying this. I think Charlotte's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, male or female.
She is.
I think so. Complete total package. I don't miss her at all on WWE. Like, I don't know where I would put Charlotte to make her interesting to me. I just I don't know, man. I
feel like Charlotte's just kind of done it all already.
Exactly.
Like, the most interesting thing she did was go down to NXT and win the championship there.
And even then, they did nothing with it because of COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you go to SmackDown, what are you gonna do? Rehash Charlotte? Or are you gonna go do something with Bayley? If you go over to Raw, what again? Asuka?
Yeah.
Like, what is there to do?
I don't know. It is weird because, like I said, I think she's one of the best ever to do it and still do it do it. But it's like it's when you become a victim of success, when you go from the underdog to the franchise. You know, you get that.
Like Triple H, Randy Orton, John
Cena.
They've all suffered through it.
Yeah,
she's just gonna have to suffer through it until there's some new programs that come out for her.
WWE Creative in our Twitch chat. What an awesome name. Always fun when we don't trust our audience to understand the concept of a TLC match, so we have to show you literally every spot you'll see on Sunday. Referring to the ending segment. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you.
Is that all that's left? Is the ending segment?
No. We're almost there, but that's kind of essentially what happened in the Ascension ceremony.
Okay.
But no, we'll have to see what comes back. I think Charlotte's probably the safe bet as far as the tag team partner.
Yeah.
Although I like the idea of Asuka bowing out entirely and just giving it to a real tag team, like Dana and Mandy Rose. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
R-Truth backstage wants a PS6 because PS5s are sold out, I guess. I don't know. He's talking to Huskus and then refers to literally to Bray Wyatt's face. Isn't Huskus your son? And Bray Wyatt kind of just no sells him. And in all these little chips at Bray Wyatt's mystique. All these comedy guys that aren't really big wrestlers feeling like they can take free range shots at Bray Wyatt. And like I said, it chips away at his mystique. But like I said, luckily for me, though, The Fiend saves it for me almost every time, which is what happened next. Bray Wyatt succumbs to his love of rocking chairs. Just spots one out in the back, in the middle, under a spotlight. Nothing can go wrong here, right, Vince? Nothing could go wrong. Just a rocking chair in the dark with a single spotlight on it.
Right.
Couldn't help himself. He had to sit in it. I thought we were going to get his Cajun accent for a moment, like he was going to slip out of character. But no, he's promptly attacked by the Viper out of nowhere. Who saw that coming? And Randy Orton beats him down, throws him in a crate. Listen, WWE stagehands, stop leaving cans of gas laying around your fucking place when you have psychopaths that just run free in your building every week. Okay, dude, listen. WWE characters are great. I think they're great, okay? But they're all fucking crayon eaters, okay? All of them. All these characters. The smartest WWE guy is still a pretty dumb person, except for JBL. That's a different reason, because that man actually plays the stock market, so I think he's legitimately intelligent. But otherwise, everybody else's characters are pretty dumb, man. And so you should not have stuff like gasoline laying around unguarded. Randy Orton sets his crate on fire with Bray Wyatt inside. But the Fiend emerges, luckily, and then like chokes him to death. Yeah, dude, no, don't leave fucking gas laying around.
No.
In a building. In a building. Why do you need gas in a building? Anyways, like just a random gas can.
Mm-hmm. Bonfire?
A bonfire?
Yeah.
No.
Inside the building. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a mystery of life, man. Just like who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. We'll never know.
We'll never know. WWE Creative says, I would not be surprised if it's Kairi Sane. I think NXT Japan is a lost cause. And most of the talent will want to stay or go to NJPW or Stardom. I think Kairi went back to live in Japan because she's married.
Yeah. So Kairi let her contract expire when she was newly engaged, newly married, and just wanted to spend more time with her husband there, and that's why she left. Yeah. So it wasn't like an NXT Japan thing. It's just she kind of became an ambassador for the company over in Japan.
Yeah. You never know, though. You never know. You can never say never with WWE. So
maybe an NXT call-up.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. Last thing, did you catch Matt Riddle's squash match?
I did not.
Okay, so you were already checked out at this point.
I was at this point. I could no longer finish the show.
I gotcha. Anyways, Matt, you honestly didn't miss anything. I can sum up the rest of the show really quickly. It's Matt Riddle has a squash match against MVP. Matt Riddle's entrance lasts longer than the match itself. He hit a couple moves, floating bro. It was done. Matt Riddle beat MVP and hot shot it out of there. So we're getting this faction war between the New Day, Matt Riddle, Jeff Hardy, and the Hurt Business is where this is all going. And then other than that, the Ascension ceremony, WWE Creative kind of summed it up for us. There was just a little promo battle between Drew and AJ Styles. AJ Styles criticized how long it took Drew McIntyre to get the WWE Championship, which is kind of hilarious because it took AJ Styles about the same amount of time. He said about 17 years, you know.
Oh, geez.
You know, he's talking about his professional career, how long he was in the business. And yeah. But Drew McIntyre proclaimed two things. A, he got WWE through uncharted waters, referring to COVID. And then also losing the title and regaining it taught him that he'll do anything to retain it. At this point, AJ says that, you might have a great shot, but who's to say you're just facing me? At this point, Miz and Morrison jump out. They're planting the seeds that it might be 3-on-1 at TLC. Mm-hmm. But Miz and Morrison jump Drew McIntyre. The numbers are too much for him. They end up putting him through a table. Like there was chair spots, hitting him with a ladder. Like they just did a little bit of everything, and it ended with not the Miz, AJ Styles doing an elbow drop off a ladder through a table, and then running up the ladder to retrieve the title, which I always thought stupid. But WWE then went off the air, and that was the show. It was okay. I just don't. It was, like I said, they just made me cringe a lot. Some of the cringing was good, like the opening cringe was good, but yeah. You mentioned before we go off air. You mentioned Reek does some MMA stuff, right? He talks like UFC and MMA.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
He does UFC, he does boxing, he does NFL, NBA, and occasionally some wrestling in there. He tries to keep it sports centric. It's called the Havoc Hour. You guys should definitely check it out. I've been on there a few times. Mm-hmm. Whenever we talk basketball, I'm always talkative, and whenever we're talking NFL or UFC, I'm usually very quiet because I have nothing to add.
Well, no, I bring that up. I'm gonna have to remember that because I'm actually tonight debuting my other podcast. Yeah.
Okay,
now, listen, if you guys are solely wrestling fans, take no interest in it, you can actually stop watching the show at this point. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great night. But if you're, a little bit of a fan of me, or you want to hear a little bit more than just wrestling talk, my first guest is actually my younger brother, Kurt. Him and I are both MMA fans and heavy UFC fans as well. We've both been watching probably over 30 years combined between the two of us.
Jeez.
And we happen to be a little funny. We have good chemistry together. But so me and him are gonna talk tonight, 8:30. He's gonna come on. We're gonna do like 45 minutes to an hour. Talk the past UFC from this Saturday, which saw probably the greatest featherweight fight of all time. On top of that, we like to just shoot the shit and talk general stuff. Almost anything else too. It might not just be MMA. We might talk about other shit. I don't know yet. But if you guys want to tune in tonight, 8:30, this will be on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thekaitai show. I'm going to roll out more official stuff. I don't even know the name of the show. I think I'm calling it like the Hammer Lounge or something. I'm not sure yet.
Nice.
It's a working title. But yeah, I really would appreciate it if you guys want to show up. We're going to have a couple drinks. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to laugh a lot probably. We might even fight because we're brothers. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I appreciate if you guys showed up. Vince, do you have your stuff or do you just want to plug your sister without your stuff?
I don't have my stuff, but I'll go ahead and plug my sister. Go ahead and follow at Punk by Nature on Twitter and Instagram with 2 E's at the end. She does custom wrestling prints, stickers, pins, and keychains. Go ahead and order yours today. They might not be able to get there for the holiday season, but you guys shouldn't miss out because they're like limited edition, limited time offer. Go ahead and get them. Really cool stuff. She's got Bailey those belts. Bailey those straps. Those straps. She has a Sasha one. She has an Eddie one. She has a Rey Mysterio one, and an Eddie one, and an Oscar one. She's working on. She hand draws these. These are original arts from her. So of course I want to help her out and support her. So if you support me, if you like my stuff, go ahead and follow her, Punk by Nature, with 2 E's at the end, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SCSVince. I talk wrestling and sports sometimes, if you like, especially basketball. NBA season's coming up, so I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls a lot on Twitter. So if you'd like to talk Chicago Bulls, go ahead and talk to me there.
Yeah, man. I can tell it's about that time to wrap up the show. I can hear Jess yelling at the kids in the background. I think she's at her wit's end. By the way, you guys, I go back and watch the intro about around the 10-minute mark of the SmackDown recap. If you want to see the stickers Vince is talking about, I saw them. They look awesome, man. Your sister's very talented.
For sure.
Definitely follow her, help support these independent creators, especially during these times when people are suffering from unemployment and they're trying to make ends meet any ways they can. I saw this stuff. Any wrestling fan is gonna love these stickers. They are fantastic. Punk by Nature with 2 E's at the end. Follow her for sure. Other than that, follow me at the Kai Tai Show, the show at Smacked Raw Pod. Once again, I really appreciate you guys all for watching the show. Smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are literally like 5 subs away from 200. Would be awesome if you could head over there, even if you're just listening on Spotify and
I'll create 5 more burner accounts so we can get to 200.
Create a couple burner accounts for us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Once again, thank you guys so much. Head over to our Patreon. But until next time, y'all have a good one.